Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear students, everywhere, welcome to you in our 13th lecture. Oh, sorry, it's the 14th lecture, okay? Lecture number 14, and which is supposed to be the last in the course, okay? That will cover, I will finish in this lecture number 14, I will finish with you Unit 6 as the last story in the course. Okay, in the previous lecture, lecture 13, I finished with you the reading passage and the list of words and idioms. Okay, we finished page 87, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 90. Today we start with the next, exercise on page 91, which is should be page 91, and page 91. Okay, page 91. Okay, page 91, I'm sorry. Okay, here. Page 91 is this. We start with the first exercise, which is called Understanding Sequences. As I said before, such an exercise, this one and the one that follows, okay, are not very important to the final exam, but you need to know the answers because they help you in understanding or in comprehending the story, okay, of the reading passage. But as I said before, these exercises might, be used in the final exam, but in a multiple choice form. Okay, so on we go. Here we will need to put these actions from A to F in the sequence order. Okay, as what happens first, second, third, fourth, etc. Okay, we go with number 1. Number 1 is given for you. Okay, number 1, as you see, okay, number E. Number E. Okay. Number E is number 1. Okay. Number 2, what could be number 2? What happened next? Number B. Find berries. Find berries. Number 3, what happened next? Number D. Pick berries. 4 is number F. 5 and last, before the last, 5 is number A. Sorry. 5, and then last is number 6, which is number C. That's all. Next exercise, okay, again, putting, sentences in the sequence, in sequence order, okay. Number 1 is given for you, as you see here, which is number C. Then what happened next? A. 2. A is number 2. Then 3 is number D. Okay. 4 is number F. 4 is F. Then 5 is number B. 6 is number E. Then last 7, which is number 8. So as you see here, they can be read as follows here. First, number 1, go to a lake. Then cut a hole in the lake ice. How to fish, Number 3, put bait on the fish hook. 4 is lower the line with the hook into the water. 5, wait for a fish to take the bait. 6, pull up the line and the fish. 7, put the fish into the tub. So that it should read like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is page 91. Then we move to 92. 92. Okay. 92. Okay, sorry. Here. This is 92. اللي هو answering questions and about the story. Okay, here these questions are, as you know, they are very important, and you need to know the answers to these questions, and they are important to make sure that you understand the meaning. The events or the details of the story. Okay, these are called content questions or comprehension questions. That means if you know the details or the answers to these questions or questions that are similar to these ones, that means you understand the story and you know the story very well. So these questions again will not be used in the final exam the way they are in the book. They might be used literally, let's say, as they are, but in a form of a multiple choice, A, B, C. Okay? So the answers to these questions are given for you. I'll just show you the answers to these questions. Let's go to the last page here. Or last, Okay. It's this one here, on this page. Okay, let's do the questions one by one. I'll read them to you. Where did Ella live? Where did Ella live? Of course, in Ontario. Ontario. اللي هو في line number 1. Line number 1. Line number 1. 2. Who ate the pin cherries? Give 2 answers. Okay, we have 2 answers to this. Okay, who ate the pin cherries? These pin cherries were not used by, it wasn't eaten by people very much, or it wasn't something that everybody likes. So it was only used, or it was only eaten by, اللي هو birds, or some birds, and the McCarthys. Okay, some birds and the McCarthys. مين كان يأكل هذا النوع من البن تشيريز؟ اللي هو نسميه الكرز أو الخوخ أو شيء شبيه فيه في المكان، لأنه كان حامض. ما حد يأكله كثير، ما حد يرغبه كثير، لكن بعض الطيور كانت ترغبه. وماك تشيريز، عفوا، المكارثيز فاميلي. المكارثيز يعني المكارثي فاميلي، عائلة مكارثي، كانوا they used to pick and gather or collect these cherries and make out of them sort of juice or sauce and use it in winter to protect themselves from cold. إذن anyway الإجابة هي بهمنا إنه some birds and the McCarthys هم هذول اللي كانوا يستعملوا هذا أو يستهلكوا هذا الcherries. Next, number 3 is, what did the squirrel collect? What did the squirrel collect? Okay, طبعا هذه squirrels مشهورة، هذا يسمونها السنجاب، مشهور بأكل الهيزل نتس اللي هو الجوز. دائما تلاقيه في على أشجار الجوز والصنوبر. بيمسك حبة الصنوبر بيكشرها وتصير. Okay, إذن number 3. What did the squirrels collect? Then hazelnuts. 4. Where do hazelnuts grow? Where do hazelnuts grow? Where? 4 اللي هو في الوايلد. Okay, rose bushes. الوايلد rose bushes. في الوايلد rose bushes. طبعا هذا موجود line 40. الإجابة اللي قبلها 3 في line 37 to 39. لا تنسى لو سمحت أو تنسي اللي هو جنب كل إجابة في عنا L مع رقم اللي هو تشير إلى indicates the line where you can find the answer to these questions, just to help you more to locate the answers, not just to know the answers and memorize them. No, you better also refer to the passages, to the passage or to the story to know where we get the answer from. Okay. Number 5. Okay. This is also a simple question. What are the names of the seasons mentioned in the passage in the story? طبعا they are well known: winter, summer, autumn, spring. Number 6. What did Ella and her family do in each season? Okay. شو كانوا بيعملوا إلا وعائلتها في كل موسم؟ طبعا it was something fixed. في كل they had something to do something special to do in each season. كان عندهم في كل فصل شيء خاص يعملوه. لكنه بشكل عام شو كان إيش what they do in each season. طبعا هم كانوا they pick and collect fruits. They picked and collected fruits, wood, and honey. Okay, and honey. And also, you can also add, they fish. In winter also they used to go fishing. You can add also fishing to this. And go fishing, and used to go fishing. They picked and collected fruits, and that is at the end of the passage, at the end of they had the job of cleaning the fish. Okay, they must have been hungry. Line 85, when they started about fishing. Okay, they picked and collected fruits, woods, and honey. They also used to sorry. Okay, let me just write it again here for you. They used to go fishing. In winter, they went fishing. Okay, I'm sorry for my, let's say, not clear handwriting, but I hope it's clear. But you can, listen to the answer, from me. So they picked, number 6, they picked and collected fruits, wood, and honey. Also, they used to, in winter, they went fishing. Okay, they used to go for fishing. Okay, next sentence, next question. Where did they get apples? Where did they get apples from? Okay, of course, from the woods. From the woods. الغابات. At the line 29. And then 8. Where does honey come from? Okay, of course, this is line 67, 68. From the bees. This is general, general knowledge question. Okay, that's a simple, easy one. Okay, number 9 from من النحل, bees, النحل. 9. Where was the forest fire? What did it leave behind? Where was the forest fire? وين كان موجود هذا الغابة المحترقة أو الغابة اللي فيها النيران؟ طبعا وين كانت؟ It was near the Pine River. هذا اسم المنطقة. What did it leave behind? شو كان يكون في متخلف من وراء هذه الحرائق اللي في الغابات هاي؟ Okay, pine knots. Pine knots كنا هذول الكتل الخشبية اللي تتبقى من الشجر اللي ما بتنحرق، اللي هي العقدة. Okay, وهذا بأخذوها وبيستعملوها في البيوت للتدفئة في الشتاء. إذن 9, it was near the Pine River. هذا the first part of the question, and then the second part is pine nuts. Pine nuts. Last question, how did Ella and her father preserve the fish? طبعا this question is how. Okay, how, that means you have to describe a process. And this process is a long one, and it takes a long part of it takes a long space. So here I just refer you to the lines where you can get the answer from, which is from line 92 to line 102. So how did Ella and her father preserve the fish? كيف كانوا يحفظوا السمك؟ Okay, إذا line 92 and نبدأ من line 92. When fish were cleaned, okay, line 94, 32, line 92, سطر 92. When the fish were cleaned, they had to be washed and then wrapped in two kinds of paper. نكمل. First, Ella and her father laid about 10 fish on a piece of waxed paper. بعد, the family usually ate 10 fish for a meal. They were making meal packages. Okay, إذا هذا ما نحتاج نحطه. The family usually ate 10 fish a meal. هذا ما نحتاج الجملة هاي. Okay, بنروح للي بعدها. Next, هنا. إذا بنقول بعد a piece of waxed paper. نروح بعدين next. That package went onto a piece of newspaper and was folded. The packages of fish were laid into a cardboard box in a neat way. The paper had to be dry, otherwise all the packages would stick together. Then the box covered with more newspaper went into the gunny sack. Okay. Ella's dad put it on the roof to freeze. بس إذا حد كلمة freeze. إذا ممكن 100 لغاية كلمة freeze في line 102 سطر 102. This is the answer to the last question. It's a long one, but you have to know it. Okay, we go to the next exercise. I hope it's clear. Okay, we go to the next exercise, which is drawing conclusions from the story, true, false. This is also, if it is important for the final exam, it will be used, but in a form of multiple choice. But as I said before, and here I repeat myself, that the final exam will not include true, false items. Okay? Please make sure that you get my point here. So there will not be true, false statements included in the final exam. But items like this here in this exercise, if they are used in the final exam, they'll be used in a multiple choice form. Okay? In a multiple choice form. Let's do them together here, just to have an idea about the answers. Okay? Just true and false. Ella lived in an apartment in a city. Of course, false. Okay. Pen cherry juice is very sweet. No, it's sour. ما كان حلو, كان حامض. Jam tastes sweet. طبعا هذا برضو سهل السؤال, لأنه يعني general knowledge question. Okay. واللي هو سؤال عام. المربى يعني طعمه حلو. طبعا true. Okay, true. Squirrels like nuts. نعم, yes, they like nuts. True. لأنه أصلا بيعيشوا على النتس, على المكسرات وعلى Okay. 5. Okay. Rose hip tea is sour. نعم, صح. True. هذا موجود في صف 44. Okay. If you really need to know the reference to this question. Yes. 6. Bees live in a beehive. برضه هذا معروف السؤال إجابته لأنه عام. Yes, true. إنه النحل يعيش في خلايا النحل. أو في البيوت اللي بسموها الهايفز خاصة فيهم. 7. The wood in pine knots is heavier than the wood in a pine tree log. نعم, true. اللي هو بيقول انه اللي هو الwood in pine knots، اللي هو الخشب بيكون موجود في الجزء اللي هو اللي بيسموه العقدة من جذع الشجرة أثقل من الأجزاء الثانية من الشجرة. اوكي، أو نعم، إذا true، لأنه هذا يكون جزء ثقيل وجاف ناشف ويابس من الشجرة. true. The winter in Ontario is quite cold. Yes, it is. بدليل انه ايش؟ عندنا البحيره بتتجمد ويروح بيصيدوا عليها وبيحفروا، بيكون على سمك كبير من الثلج. يس، بيحتاجوا اشياء كثير للتدفئه. يس، it is. Winter in Ontario quite cold. It is quite cold. True. 9. Ella's family could eat 20 fish in one meal. 20 fish؟ لا، false. لأنه القطعة شو بتقول؟ 10 fish. قطعة بتقول 10. Last, number 10 اللي هو it was very cold on the roof of the house in winter. صح؟ true. لأنه حطوا عليه السمك بعد ما نظفوه، لأنه على السطح الجو بارد جدا. Okay, next exercise اللي هو finding meaning in the context. هذا طبعا اللي هو من التمارين المهمة جدا. Okay, اللي هو meaning of the words. Let's go to the number 1. Which meaning, okay, نقرأ السؤال لو سمحت with the directions first or instructions. Which meaning is closest to the underlined word or words? Circle A, B, C or D. Okay, طيب نروح للجملة الأولى. The family owned a trailer to attach, okay, to the back of the car. شو يعني attach؟ طبعا you refer to, you will find it. Okay, اللي هو hitch. Next, Ella's mother went to a stream to collect a salad green. A salad green. ايش هو السالاد جرين؟ اوكي، وراحت على الستريم. شو الستريم؟ اللي هو الجدول. اذا شو راح تجمع من جنب الجدول؟ هو الجدول الماء طبعا، اللي هو نوع من انواع الخضار بتنمو على جنب الماء، اللي هو الووتر كريس. اللي هو ايش؟ اللي هو نبات مائي. ووتر كريس. ووتر كريس نبات مائي. Next, number 3. Ella's father did not like taking honey from the bees. Taking honey from. To take from يعني بمعنى يأخذ منه. سماها كمثال ايش؟ بمعنى يسرق او يعني يسرق. لإيش؟ دي robbing. For Ella was in touch with. In touch with. ايش يعني in touch with؟ In touch with. Okay, to live in ولا was comfortable with. Okay, في عنا if we go to okay, be in touch with here. Be in touch with, communicate with easily. Okay, to communicate with easily, be familiar with. Okay, اللي هو ايش؟ to live in. Okay, to live in. To live in. لو نتكلم احنا it was in touch with nature يعني to live in the nature. Okay, to be in touch with in nature, to live in nature. طبعا was comfortable with nature يعني it's possible, not يعني that يعني far from being possible. Was comfortable with is also a possible answer, but I think to live in nature يعني to be in touch with nature. Next is when 5. When the weather is extremely cold يعني شديد البرودة, water turns solid. بتحول الماء إلى solid. يعني إيش solid؟ يعني ماء إلى مادة صلبة. شو يعني إيش يعبر عن هذا الكلام؟ to turn solid اللي يتجمد يعني يصير جامد. freeze. Okay. Next, 6. The best berries are found and full of juice. The berries are round and full of juice. شو يعني full of juice? Okay, full of juice. Okay, they are thick. Okay, they are, I think thick is the best answer. Oh no, so they are pulp. Okay, they are pulp. They are pulp. Okay, they are pulp. Full of juice means they are pulp. pulp means full of juice. 7. To preserve apples. شو يعني preserve apples? preserve يعني يحفظ عشان يحفظ التفاح. شو كانوا يساووا؟ to preserve apples you must remove the skins. يعني ايش يعني to remove the skin؟ ايش يعني ازالة الجلد او القشر عن شيء؟ شو بنسميها بكلمة واحدة؟ ها اللي هي peel them، يعني يقشر. to peel them. next اللي هو ايش؟ the jars must be shining clean. ايش معنى shining clean؟ okay. best is what؟ be gleaming، يشع من النظافة. next is number 9, the one before the last. the apples were ready for picking. تفاح كان جاهز للقطف. شو يعني معناته؟ ايش معناته؟ معناته they are ripe، يعني ناضج جاهز للأكل. okay. 10 is here on page 94. 10 on page 94. They made tea with the fruit of wild rose bushes. fruit with rose 4 bushes لإيش؟ الرose hips. Okay. Next exercise. Okay. Again, concerned with the vocabulary. Okay, working with the new words and meanings. We have these words A, B, C, D, then G, H, up to L. Okay, we have about 12 sentences. Which word or phrase from the list answers the question? In the blank, in front of each question, write the letter of the answer. في عنا أسئلة. Okay. عايزين نعرف أي كلمة من هذه الكلمات A, B, C, D تعبر عن إجابة لهذا السؤال. Okay. إجابة. مثلا شوف السؤال الأول. Number 1. What can protect your hands from the cold? أو خلينا نقرأ أول شيء الكلمات لو سمحتوا، اللي هي الكلمات. ألوج. شو الألوج؟ لوج يعني قلنا اللي هي الحطبة أو الخشبة تبع الشجرة. جار قلنا اللي هو المرتبان أو الوعاء الزجاجي اللي يحفظ فيه المربيات أو الأطعمة. سي جام اللي هو المربى معروف. بيت اللي هي إيش؟ اللي هي الطعم اللي نحط للسمكة أو الطعم بشكل عام. بلي اللي هو قلنا هذا الجزء من الجسم هو البطن. جلوفز قلنا إيش؟ الكفوف. مر معنا هالكلمات بس بقولها بسرعة. نمبر جي ستم اللي قلنا هو الساق اللي بين النبتة بين الجذور والثمرة. ستينج لإيش؟ نمبر اتش ستينج اللي هي اللسعة اللدغة القرصة. اي سكرابينج اللي هو قلنا مسح شيء بس بأداة خشنة زي نقول زي الفرشاي، يعني فرش مثلا مكان متسخ مش بس تنظيف، لا فرشي يعني بفرشاي اللي هي زي التوعات اللي تستخدم لتنظيف الأرض مثلا. اوكي. أو السجاد. اوكي. سكرابينج هذا العملية نسميها سكرابينج، تنظيف بأداة بالفرك الشديد. جي اللي هو داندليون اللي هو قلنا هذا أحد أنواع النباتات. ووتر كريس برضو قلنا نبات مائي. بعدين عندنا اللي هو الأخير اللي هو البشل باكيت. اوكي سوري البشل باسكت. البشل باسكت اللي ايش؟ البشل باسكت اللي هو السلة تبع هذا البشل باسكت اللي هو تبع الخضار هذا اللي بيجمعوه. اوكي. لما يعبوا التفاح البوشل باسكت اللي هي ايش؟ يعني اللي قلنا نوع من السلال اللي مصنوعه من القصيب، من الورق الشجر، من مواد يعني زي مثلا قلنا زي سعف النخل. البوشل باسكت السله المصنوعه من هذه المواد الطبيعية. طيب الآن نروح للجملة اللي سمعته. 1. What can protect your hands from the cold? اوكي اللي هو ايش؟ F اللي هو ايش؟ اللي هو gloves. إذا بنحط هنا F. إذن gloves. هذا إجابة للسؤال. بالطريقة اللي نعمل باقي التمرين. إذن what can protect your hands from the cold? إيش ممكن يحمي يديك من البرد السقعة والثلج؟ اللي هو الكفوف، لبس الكفوف في الشتاء. What do you put on number 2? What do you put on a fish hook to attract the fish? اوكي شو بنحط للسمك عشان نصطادها ونجذبها؟ طبعا اللي هي بيت اللي نمبر دي. D. Next number 3. What is a measure for potatoes? What is a measure for potatoes? شو المقياس يستخدم مثلا لقياس مثلا كميات من البطاطا او يضع فيه البطاطا اللي هي نمبر ايش؟ L اللي هو a bushel basket. A bushel basket. JKL. L نحطها بتشكل. 4. What is a bite from a bee or a mosquito? البايت اللي هي العضة. شو العضة أو اللدغة اللي ممكن تيجينا من النحلة أو من الموسكيتو اللي هي البعوضة أو القارصة؟ شو بنسميها؟ اللي H اللي sting. Sting H. 5. What is like a bottle but has a large opening at the top? شو الشيء اللي بيشبه الزجاجة أو عفوا القنينة اوكي ولكن نهايته بتكون عريضة مفتوحة اللي هو المرتبان قلنا اللي هو نمبر ايش؟ B a jar. 6. What is like 6. What do you get when you cook berries with sugar? لما نطبخ الفراولة أو التوت مع السكر عشان نعمل منه ايش؟ طبعا ايش؟ C جام C مربى. 7. What word means the stomach of an animal or the undesirable or underside of a fish? What word means the stomach of an animal? شو الكلمة اللي تقابل معنى معدة الحيوان مثلا أو اللي هو الجزء السفلي الأندرسايد الجزء السفلي من جسم السمكة شو بنسميه؟ اللي هو اللي هو البلي بلي البطن. Okay. 8. Which is the name of a salad green that grows near streams? Okay. Which is the name of a salad green? شو هو الشيء اللي ممكن يعني اللي يستخدم في السلطة من الأوراق الخضراء أو الخضار اللي هي من الخضار اللي بينمو جنب المياه جنب جداول المياه اللي هو نمبر كي اللي هو الووتر كريس. 9. What do we call a piece of wood cut from a tree? شو بنسمي القطعة من الخشب اللي تقسم من الشجرة؟ اوكي اللي هو اللي هو اللوج اللي هو الحطبة أو الخشبة. I hope it's clear. 10. The leaves of which weed with yellow flowers can be used for salad. Okay. شو نوع الخضار اللي تستخدم في السلطة اللي بس يستخدم منها ايش الجزء العلوي منها اللي هي الزهرة تبعها اوكي اللي هو نمبر J داندليون J. What connects the apple to the tree? What connects the apple to the tree? شو اللي بربط حبة التفاح في الشجرة؟ اوكي شو بنقول له شو بنسميه؟ اللي هو نمبر G stem. G stem. 12. If you use the sharp edge of a knife to take scales from fish, what are you doing? Okay. لو احنا جينا اخذنا جينا ننظف السمكة عشان نشيل منها الحراشف او القشر هذا اللي عليها، اوكي، فهذا عملية ازالة القشر عن السمكة، اوكي، شو بنسميه؟ اوكي، شو بنسميه؟ اي سكريبينج، اللي هو ايش؟ التقشير او التنظيف بشيء، بأداة يعني يعني صلبة او يعني قوية عشان نزيل الحراشف هاي. Okay, the next exercise again is also another important exercise here, اللي هو practicing with idioms. Okay, this is also important. Find the idiom in this list that means the same or almost the same as the underlined word or words and use the correct form of it to complete each sentence. Okay? عايز استخدم هذه المصطلحات عشان نعبي الفراغات في الجمل اللي أمامنا. طبعا برضو as I said before, and I keep repeating myself, إنه these exercises will not be used in the final exam the way they are here. But they are important. That doesn't mean they are not important. They are important and you have to study them because they will be used in the final exam in a form of multiple choice questions. Okay, number one. Before we read number one, let's read the list of the idioms here. To be in touch with, okay, يعني يكون على اتصال فيه أو يعيش في الطبيعة أو في أي مكان. To live close to, okay, to be worth it. كلها مرت معنا وعطينا معناها. To be the time for. To be the time for. بعدها, okay, next one اللي هو هنا احنا page 95. Page 95. To be ripe for picking. تحت to plan a picnic. اللي بعدها way of life. اللي بعدها to be very good at. Okay. Number one. On Sundays في عنا arrange to eat a meal. ايش معنى arrange to eat a meal? Okay. On Sunday afternoons the family often شو بيساووا؟ The family often اللي هو اللي هي number one اللي هي plan a picnic. Okay. Plan a picnic. هذا number one. To plan a picnic. To plan a picnic. The family often plan to plan a picnic. معلش, I'll write it here. I'll write the number next to each idiom. 2. In September في عنا are ready to be collected. شو يعني ready to be collected؟ في كلمة واحدة تشابهها. يعني in September, okay, in September the apples on the trees are شو يسمون؟ يعني are ripe for eating or ripe for picking. Are ripe for picking. Okay, number 2. Are ripe for picking. They are ripe for picking. Number 2. But that's not one. Are, huh? Next is number 3. The children of the family are familiar with many of the aspects of nature. Then familiar with with many aspects of nature. Then شو بقول? The children of the family are إيش? In touch with. Okay, in touch with. Remember? Okay, in touch with. Number 3 here. Okay, فشو نقول? Familiar with and the family are in touch with. Are they are in touch with. 4. Number 4. The family, etc. The reward for the work was valuable for them. إيش معنى the reward was okay, the reward for the work was valuable for them. إذا نقول the family نقرأ الجملة هون. The family went 50 miles to fish on Ice Lake and they caught 400 fish. It was out of work, but شو نقول? اللي هو يعني يكون هذا الجهد وأخذ كذا، لكن هذا السفر عشان يجيبوا السمك يعني كان شيء يستحق يعني ذا. إذن إيش يقول؟ it was worth it. it was worth it اللي هو it was worth it. But it was worth it. And next, collecting what they need from nature is how they live. Then how they live means what? Then if you were collecting what they need from nature is their way of life. Is their way of life. Okay, here number 5. Way of life is their way of life. Way of life. Next is number 6. Mr. McCarthy is skilled in fishing. So Mr. McCarthy كان ماهر في الصيد. إذا شو ممكن نقول إذا Mr. McCarthy is إيش في الكلمة تقابلها is good at. Mr. McCarthy is good at. Okay, I was very good at. اللي هو number 6 is here. Mr. McCarthy he is good at. Mr. McCarthy is good at. 7. Some people depend on nature for food and fuel. شو يعني depend on food and food and fuel. هي شو الكلمة اللي تقابل هذه الكلمة اللي هي نمبر sentence number 7 اللي هو to live on, to live close to. could depend on for food and fuel يعني to live close to. To live close to. To live close to. Some people live close to. Some people live close to. Now, that's all on page 95. Then we go to page 96. 96. Okay. Page 96, number 8. Spring is the appropriate season for planting flowers in the garden. Spring is ماله لو نقول إن spring هو الشهر المناسب الفصل المناسب is the appropriate season. Spring إذا إيش بنسميه؟ Spring is the appropriate season اللي هو إيش؟ is the time for اللي هو إيش؟ الجملة اللي بعد قبلها is the time for. Spring is the time. Spring is the time for. Spring is the time for. Here, let's just go one step back. Okay. Here, one step back اللي هو to be the time for اللي هو this one, to be the time for number 8. Okay, to be the time for okay, where is this one here? Okay, sorry ladies and gentlemen, we are in the last sentence, sentence number 8 on page 86, and the answer to this sentence, which is what? The time for, okay? اللي هو this one. The time for, okay? Number 8 is this one, to be. So here are all of the questions. So number 8, okay. Number 8 reads, the spring is appropriate, is the appropriate season for planting the flowers or flowers in a garden. That means spring is, okay, is what? Is the time for. الفصل المناسب لي is the time for. Okay. Next page, our next exercise is not important. We're exploring the ideas and then making inferences. These exercises you do at home, but they are not important for the final exam. Okay. That's number 7, 97, 98. 98 is also not important. We have main ideas, finding main ideas. Okay, you do at home, please. This is, you do on your own and at your own time. And then we go to page 99, reading for details. Okay, reading for details here is an important one. Okay, reading for details. And this is also like the one, this exercise is similar to the exercise that you have on page 92, the answering questions. Okay, what color is the rose, or is rose hip tea? Okay, it is on page 4, line 44. Okay, line 44, اللي هو the color of the rose hip. Okay, line 44, the color of rose hip is pick the rose hip from the wild rose bushes. These rose hips are made from a very good winter tea, and they had lots of vitamin in them. Okay? So they have the color of the rose. Okay? They have the color of the rose. It's not here specifically mentioned. Okay, it was a dark red color. That's it. Okay, it was a dark red color. It was a dark red color. Okay, line 44. Then show you. Dark red color. Okay, dark red. Line 44. Next question. When do June berries become ripe? Okay, in spring. Line 4. This is line 4. Okay, in spring. In spring. Okay. Next, why did the family go to the Pine River for their picnics, or for their picnic? Okay. Why? This is line 50. Line 50. Line 50. Line 50. Which is what? Just to pick. To pick. Okay, here. Era's families, and then they, which is to pick, why did the family go to the Pine River for their picnic? Of course, to pick اللي هو النوتس اللي هو الباين نوتس. اوكي نعم. line 50 نعم line 50 they went to pick up the pine nuts. To pick pine nuts. To pick line 50. You can just see it on this line, okay? You just go to line 50 and then you find to pick اللي هو قلنا ايش pine nuts. To pick pine nuts. Last question: what did the McCarthy's use apple for or apples for? What did the McCarthy's use apple for? ليش استخدموا التفاح؟ That's on page 30 line 31 اللي هو ايش؟ Ella's mother prepared the glass, and then they peeled the apples for canning. Mother's jar, and when the apples are cooked, apples for winter pies, and apple sauce went into the jars. The green, okay, they use it what for? Okay, use the apples for to make ish. To cook, and when the apples were cooked, apples for winter pies and apple sauce. For winter pies, then apples for, that is line 31. Line 31 and 32, of course. Line 31. Sorry, line 31 and 32. And here the answer is just to say for winter pies. For winter pies and اللي هو ايش الابل sauce, okay, and oops. Okay, for apple pies, for winter pies, sorry. For winter pies and okay, and apple sauce. That is line 31 and 32, and specifically line 32. Line 32. I'm sorry for my bad handwriting. Okay. Line 32. And then for winter pies and apple sauce. Okay. I think this is the end of this lesson or this unit on this story. So, and this will be the end of the material required for the whole course. And this is our last story, and that's all for today's lecture. And before I just leave, please, I would like just to refer with you to one correction here. لو سمحتوا ترجعوا على صفحة 76 76 في يونت 5. اوكي، برضه ما في عندنا تصليحة بسيطة في 76 اللي هو السؤال تبع الماتشنج. اوكي، الكلمات ومعانيها، صفحة 76 تبع الكلمات وما يقابلها من معنى. اوكي، الماتشنج. في عندنا بس تصليحة اللي هي رقم 5 اللي هي letter بنحط معها مقابلها جي اللي هي ايش؟ ميل. الحل تبع 5 letter بنحط جي مش اف. جي letter بمعنى رسالة، نحط معها جي اللي هي ميل. وبنفس الوقت اللي هي رقم 10 اوكي اللي كانت document، لأنه تقريبا بتشابهوا الكلمتين مع بعض. 10 اللي هو document بنحط محلها اف بدال جي. document نحط اف، document وثيقة، واف اللي هي الورقة القانونية يعني زي وثيقة. اوكي، I hope I'm clear. ها، واضح الكلام لو سمحتوا؟ صفحة 76 السؤال في أول الصفحة فوق الماتشنج اللي هي توصيل، رقم 5 حلها جي مش اف، ورقم 10 حلها اف مش جي. Okay, that's all for today, and that is the end of lecture 14. And soon, right after this lecture, there will be a short one, and it will have good news for you, and it will be in Arabic, and I'll just explain as much as possible of what we have already done in units 4 and 5. And that's all for now, and wish you all the best. Okay, so long, everybody. Assalamu alaikum.